everyone. Welcome to another Division 2 matchup here in Week 2 of the Reddit League between Radox and Radu. This is going to be a fun one for us if I don't trip over myself between those two names. These two competitors are very far apart in the table going into Week 2. Radox having a very unfortunate Week 1. Isn't that right, Calamity?
Yeah, he missed one of his guesses, forgot about the timer pretty much. But even without that, he wasn't having the best of times in North Macedonia. Like even if you would have gotten 5,000 points in that round, 18,000 points probably wouldn't have been enough for a win, maybe not even for a draw either way. So I guess you could say he got lucky in that sense.
Yeah, but it did still hurt his score differential, so he's
true,
in the negative quite a bit. Even though he probably would have still lost, he could have maybe saved himself a few of those negative points. But as you can see, other than the fact that Radu won his first and Radox lost, and that big difference in points and kilometers mainly due to that round, Radu did pick up an ace, which is always nice. So these two are very regular competitors. They play in many different leagues together, and they know each other very well. So it'll be really interesting to see who comes out on top of this one in their ongoing rivalry in the Reddit League. So as we look at the map, we are in Brazil for Week 2. It's a map created by Mapper with an average score of 15,287. It's only been played about 260 odd times, but that is mainly because it's a brand new map being only created about 2.5 months ago. It has over 2,000 hand-picked locations, mainly to avoid bad camera and photospheres, like most of Mapper's maps. We appreciate your effort, my friend. So Calamity, your thoughts going into this one. Who do you think is going to come out on top?
I think Radu's always going to be the favorite, considering he's a very well-known player in the community, and he was in Division 1 last season, and got relegated. But Radox also wasn't very far up the table in Division 2, and only himself avoided relegation in the relegation playoff match. So, as well, considering Radox's bad first week, he might be a bit more nervous, a bit more anxious to do well this week. Whether that'll have a positive or negative effect on him, we'll have to see. But yeah, for me, Radu is the favorite.
Yeah, I think Radox is going to really be kind of on damage control on this one, trying to not fall further down in that score differential, and maybe even pick up some of those new bonus points in the table. He could definitely shoot for that, which might be beneficial for him, having lost his first week. So with that, let us jump into the match. Right off the bat, we get in, as urban as some parts of Brazil gets, location for round 1.
Both of them walk in different directions. Radox going away from the main road.
Indeed, yeah. Now it seems they've both kind of headed at least a little bit in the same direction, trying to orientate themselves, but they've looking at the same signs in a little bit of a different order, but neither have moved very far from the starting location.
Yeah, they're both still pretty close to that. Usually in a small town like that, you'd want to find the main road quickly, even if you don't actually leave the town straight away, but just knowing where it is would help.
But only 30 seconds in, and they do make it to that main road. Radu's seen some very good signs, but Radox, again, looking at it only moments later. So not a whole bunch. I believe they have seen an area code.
Have they?
I think I saw 77.
77, so Bahia, yeah, that you probably saw that correctly if my memory isn't completely gone.
They saw a few phone numbers without area codes, so that hasn't helped them too much.
Radox already trying to look for something on the map.
And Radu not far behind, just zooming into Brazil a little bit. He did see some like brown, maybe like tourist or transportation signs. I'm not sure what the brown signs indicate in Brazil. In America, there usually are tourist destinations, national parks, that kind of thing. Maybe he's looking for that.
All right, I can tell you that you definitely didn't see the right phone code.
I guess I didn't.
Radu found the right place on a bus. I don't actually know. There were a couple of city names on that bus. I don't know if he's gone for the correct one. But
just under a minute.
I don't
Radox
think he has.
Zooming into a similar location, but not with as much confidence. That information might get him something. He had that annoying thing happen to him when you move closer to the sign disappears.
But Radox has found the right city, so he's got that as an advantage over Radu.
You'll head back to the starting location with 20 seconds left to see if he can't figure out where he might be. Looks like they are east of the main road.
I think they're, east as well as south of it. I think the main road just kind of makes a bit of a curve through the city there.
I'm going to run out of time right about now. Which caused them to guess. Ooh, very nice. Radox with 4,996, just missing out on that ace. But Radu not starting off on the best footing, 4,121. He was close in a neighboring city. But still not quite.
I think Radu took the first city that he saw on the bus, like the first in the line of a couple, and thought he'd probably be in that one, which wasn't quite correct.
Yeah, buses do move, so a little bit tricky to use them. But I'm not exactly sure what Radox saw. Could you fill me in on that, Calamity?
I'm pretty sure he just saw the city name. I'm going to assume that he saw the area code first so that he knew which area to look in. And then I'm pretty sure I saw him find a city name. And it stands out at a decent zoom level, so it's not too difficult to find. Although it is pretty hard to pinpoint the starting location in that city, even though it looks pretty small. But I myself was looking for that pinpoint for about a minute or so and couldn't quite do it.
Maybe a little bit of luck in his location, but he did have the right town, so got to give him credit for that. And let us jump in as Radox is going to give us quite a lengthy account of that. So please check out his video because he gives us lots of commentary in his own video. Yeah,
you can see there. I mean, you probably can't see on the overlay. I'm not sure. But Radox's video is 30 minutes compared to Radu's 18-minute video.
So he does love to spend his time in between rounds, which is always great. It makes for a great video. So we'll get into round number 2 here. Here we go. And another sort of urban location.
Actually paved roads this time at the starting location.
Always got to love that from a Brazilian map.
And now
means you won't be starved for information. So
now it's your turn with the phone code.
Oh, it's 77. Oh, yes. Did I see 67 last time?
It was 65, I think.
65? I don't know. I remember seeing a 7, and I thought I saw a 77, but
no, but now we're actually in Bahia.
Now we're in 77.
Yeah.
It's all over the place, so it shouldn't be missed by either player.
Yeah, they've both seen it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's always an interesting thing, like what is on screen and what do they actually see are not exactly the same thing. So You watching at home might be like, oh, yeah, there it is. But for some reason, the player might just have missed it.
Mm. It's usually less of an issue with looking at things while like walking around, more of an issue looking at the map. Radu has found the right city with 2 minutes to go, so you should be able to make a decent pinpoint.
Some good signs in this town to help him pinpoint that. Radox getting a little bit turned around on some of those roads, trying to stay on that main road. Yeah, even though this might look like a pretty decent town, with the size of Brazil, it could still be very small on the map and hard to find. So it can be a little bit deceiving. But Radox has seen that same sign that Radu has seen. Let's see if he was able to find the town. Indeed, he is. There we go.
It's also quite difficult usually in Brazilian cities, especially in bigger ones, to pinpoint because there's not a lot of things you've got. Street names usually don't help you a lot. First of all, because they can be quite rare depending on the city you're in. Secondly, because if the city's big, you're just going to be looking at 400 different street names.
Yeah, way too many. As we say that, Radox does zoom in on a very small road sign, hoping to maybe glean something off of it.
As you can see
and
on the
Radu
screen.
has guessed. Stop jumping ahead. There we go. And he got an ace. Very nice. He managed to find it. Yeah, especially in places like Brazil or other countries, even Japan, that don't name or label all their roads very well. Counting blocks and streets is often a better maneuver than trying to find a name and find that on the map.
Yeah, or generally just finding stuff like gas stations can help you out a lot. You've got to be careful. Well, as Radox has guessed.
4,974 for him. So he won't drop too many points to that ace. He should still have a lead going into round 2. Yeah, so what did Radox miss there, Calamity? Anything?
I don't think there was anything in particular. He guessed actually in a very similar location to me, mainly because I think where Radox went immediately east, I think, and you see like a big overview over what looks like the whole city, but it's actually only just the eastern part. So that might come into play there. It looks a bit deceiving.
Very nice. Well, let's get us set up.
Yeah, so what I mentioned earlier with the gas stations, you still gotta well, you can't trust them too much considering there's probably more than one gas station of the same company in a city if it's bigger.
Yeah, that's a little bit tricky. But with round 3, we do not get an urban location. This is more like the Brazil we all have come to hate.
No gas stations here.
No gas stations, no road signs, and no pavement as far as the eye can see. This is a chance, though, for Radu to make up that about 849 point difference. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I could do a little bit of math today. Decent sign for a limit of a municipality for Radu, but is that going to be easy to find on the map, Calamity?
Depends if you know the cities. If you're just going into it completely blindly, not knowing any of the 2 cities, you're probably not going to be able to find it in 2.5 minutes. It comes down a bit to luck, of course, but it's unlikely in my opinion.
Okay. Well, there was a big name, Escolar, on the side of the bus, Escolar, but I don't know if that's a city name necessarily.
It means school.
Oh, that's right. It does mean school in Portuguese. I saw it on buildings all over the place.
Yeah.
Like something at school. Oh, that must be school.
Yeah, I had the same thing with Rodovia, I think, which I saw a lot, but it just means street or something like that.
It can be a little bit deceiving if you don't know the language.
Always an advantage if you know what words you're looking at. If only to tell you that you can ignore these ones.
Yeah. Radox has got himself on a main road, at least a paved road, and he's going to travel down that as far as he can looking for something. Radu, however, still on that dirt road.
Oh, there's a phone
so
code.
There's an area
Radox.
code for Radox. That'll help him out.
Did you see what it was? I saw it started with a 3. But
33, I believe.
33, okay.
So we are just north of Rio?
Somewhere around Belo Horizonte. I'm not quite sure in which direction.
But it looks like Radu already has his map zoomed in a bit on that location, although he has yet to drop a pin, I believe. Yeah, Radox definitely taking hope to see something approach to this round. Probably has kilometers traveled, which would be a great stat to see for our players if we could.
Yeah, that'd be.
He's got Radu beat on this round at least.
Yeah, that'd be a very interesting stat, but it's unfortunately not really possible.
Yeah, I don't know how we would even record that.
I mean, technically,
some kind of bot or something, but
technically you could use the path tracker extension and then have everyone check their kilometers traveled manually.
Yeah, I guess.
A bit much.
But the path tracker might be able to do that with a script, though. But okay, they're run out of time as we're chatting about that. Radox, unfortunately, is going to be way off, very far away, only getting 2,234 points there, while Radu will get 4,754. That's a big swing with only 2 rounds left for Radu. He'll be very happy with that, and Radox will be very disappointed with that.
Yeah, Radox probably must have not quite been able to remember what 33 is. He got the right general area, but just a bit too far to the west.
Yeah, and in Brazil, you can lose points very quickly, even in the same state, because the size of them. So that's quite unfortunate for Radox. And given the length of his discussion about it, he probably lets us know his opinion about that.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see or to hear from Radu what made him find the right place. I mean, of course, when he had the general area, he saw one of the 2 cities that was on the sign. But I wonder what made him go for that area in the first place, because I don't think he saw a phone code or anything of the sort, or a road number.
Yeah, he had a lot of information, but to be that precise, it's kind of a surprise with what he actually did see. Something like Radox's guess is maybe more appropriate, but maybe he saw something we missed or whatnot.
Or he knew something we don't know.
Yeah, we knew something we don't know. Yeah, that's always possible. It's very likely, actually. Yeah. As we get into round number 4, we have another, not an urban location, but a very nice junction, which will give us lots of information with municipality names.
Most importantly, one of the biggest cities in Brazil, in Curitiba.
So that should make it easy for the players to find their location. And intersections are always very nice because they're easy to spot on the road as well. So in terms of pinpointing, you're not counting corners as much as you're just looking for an intersection that looks similar. Radox seeing a bit of the road number there. Didn't look at it very long. I don't know if he got a good look at it or not.
Yeah, he also didn't see the sign that said Curitiba on it. I mean, he saw the sign, he didn't read it.
Looking for a phone code, perhaps?
Also, if I remember
Nothing yet.
correctly, this is one of those roads that doesn't actually tell you. Well, while I'm saying that, Radu found a white road marker that tells him he's in Sao Paulo, or in that state.
Along with
But
the road number.
as you can see below that, it actually doesn't tell you a national road. It just says north and south above the kilometers.
Does that mean like the north half of the country or just the north half of the road?
No, it just means the direction of the road you're traveling in.
Oh, okay.
So you're traveling north or south on that road.
Which isn't entirely helpful, but
Not really, no.
especially when you have a compass in Geoguessr.
But Radox has now found out that he's near Curitiba.
But he's still quite a ways away from the intersection. Looks like Radu is checking out different intersections to see which one might fit the overall shape of where he is. He'll be looking for his second ace. Looks like he's trying to choose between a couple.
Both of the ones he's looked at right now aren't the right one. Neither is that.
Still a little bit of ways off. Radox is still in with a chance with just under a minute to go. And yeah, seems to be having trouble. Is he too far south?
Radu's too far south yet.
Yeah.
And I think Radox, good that he went back, because I think he's already forgotten the signs he saw at the start.
Always a danger. You've seen a lot of information in a very short amount of time. You don't want to forget any of it. But then he also just takes off once he gets back to the starting location.
He's going the same direction that he went
earlier.
I was
going to say the same direction he just went in? I don't know. He's quite a ways off on this. Maybe he thinks he knows where that is. If he doesn't move himself further south, he's going to run out of time. Radu not finding the location, but still putting in an overall very nice score. But Radox, unfortunately, a little bit further. He did move himself south, it looks like.
No, Radox was always around Curitiba. You asked, I told you earlier that Radu was too far south.
Okay.
Yeah, they were both too far south. They both needed to go further north.
They both were, but Radox, unfortunately, a bit further south, only getting 3,340, with Radu getting 4,714. So that's another good chunk of points to take the lead into the final round. I think he's over 2,000 now. Into the final round.
If you show us the start of the next round, I can tell you exactly how
as we
far
jump
it is.
into the Let me do that. Jump to the start of that next round. There we go. Radu sitting at 18,589. Radox 15,544. So actually
3,041 points apart.
Over 3,000 points. Mathematically possible, but with Radu already seeing a national road sign, very unlikely.
Yeah. Oh, Radox has also just spotted it.
He has Brazil 20. He seems to have a little bit of a clue where it might be. I think he does know where the road is. Where not he knows where on the road he is another matter. Now, kilometer 20 is a pretty low number, so while the numbers do reset quite often, at least it gives you a range around state borders to check.
It'd be very helpful if you knew what state you're in.
Yeah, indeed it would. A little bit tricky. One thing you can do if you're not sure if the road kilometer markers are increasing or decreasing as you go north or south is just to go north or south and see what the next one says. If you go north and the next one is increasing, well, then you know it's increasing.
Yeah.
So
Sounds pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it does, but not always intuitive when you're playing the game. You're like, wait a minute, it's, kilometer marker 50. Does it start counting at the north or the south?
Mm,
Well, it's pretty easy to find that out, even if you don't know, with some simple movement.
Radu seems pretty confident about the general area. Either that, or he's just planning to check the whole road for something that would fit.
He's spending quite a bit of time perusing the map, looking for where he might be, but I don't know what he's even looking for.
Yeah, I think he's checking road direction.
How north-south is it?
I just don't know if that's a very good strategy for this round in particular, because, yeah, as we know, the road 20 is very long. There's probably be a couple of stretches of road where it's pretty straight.
Yeah, not on shorter roads, or at least where you know in a more defined location where you are, that can help. But if you're looking at the entire length of a national highway in a country like Brazil, maybe not. Just about 30 seconds left to go. It doesn't look like either player has a good grip on where they are. Could come down to just a little bit of luck on this location. They know the general region, but they're a little bit starved for a precise location.
Yeah, I think
Radu is looking way further south than Radox. So either way, the points are going to be very different for somebody. As Radu's timer runs out and Radox is not too far behind him. Ooh. Oh, they actually... I think almost exactly in the same location. Radox a hair more north, and that shows up in the points. 2,861. Radu 2,668. Oh man, that was Radox's chance to gain some massive points, but unfortunately, they guessed almost in the exact same spot, which is very amusing for sure. Yeah, so I believe we do still have one more round.
No, it's the end of it. Radox
so Radox goes back and looks at something. That's why I was like confused. Okay, well, let's see if we can't pull up those final point tallies.
Yeah, Radu a bit unluckily right at the end, in like the last couple of seconds, he went way further southwest. He would have been a lot closer if he had stayed where he was before.
And there we go. If actually I can get, let me see if I can't get Radox's screen up, because you can see Radu's score on there as well. And zoom in a little bit, make it easier for you all to see at home. Radu finishing with 21,257. He's actually the third best when he played it, at least, in the division. But Radox fourth, but 18,405, quite a big difference, unfortunately, for Radox. So he will pick up his second loss of the season, and Radu will get his second win of the season. So Calamity, did that go pretty much as you expected?
Pretty much, yeah. They both did a pretty good job. Radox got a bit unlucky, I guess. The last round, I mean, Radu didn't get many more points there either. Radox maybe just misremembering the right area code in around Belo Horizonte, and not quite remembering the signs he saw at the beginning of the round near Curitiba was probably what caused his downfall. But he still got a very good score, and he's definitely going to pick up that bonus point for being in the top half of the table.
Yeah, with a score like that, you definitely hope you can pick up some of that bonus points, especially in a country like Brazil. 18,000 can be a respectable score. So I'm not sure how early these two played.
Radox played very late. I think Radox played on Sunday. So I think that was pretty much the end standing.
Yeah, so that'll actually get him a very nice bonus point in week 2. Great, but unfortunately a loss for our friend Radox. He's been on the show before, so hate to see him lose, but it looked like the fierce rivalry between these two will continue into hopefully the playoffs, or not the relegation playoffs, rather, but maybe the promotion playoffs for the division towards the end of the season. Well, thank you all for watching. Hope you really have enjoyed this game between these two competitors. Very close and a little bit back and forth, so it should have been a very interesting match to watch. If you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. It lets us know that you enjoy this kind of content and helps everybody else know that it's great. It's a great place to watch Geoguessr as well. And we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye.